A former black sniper was ridiculed on the firing range until her 10 shots left billionaires speechless. I think you've got the wrong place. The general services area is in the back, said the receptionist, a man in an impeccable suit who didn't disguise his contempt when he looked at Clarice Langston. In her 60s, with her gray hair carefully braided and her hands marked by time, she was a complete contrast to the luxurious atmosphere of the elite marksman club. No mistake, Clarice replied calmly, placing a worn VIP card on the marble counter. I'm a special guest of General Roberts. The receptionist examined the card as if it were an obvious forgery. Laughter echoed through the lobby as a group of men in designer tactical clothing watched the scene with growing amusement. This card expired 5 years ago, he said, giving it back with 2 fingers, as if fearing contamination. Besides, our field isn't exactly suitable for someone in her condition. Clarice took the card back, her face impassive. Nothing there surprised her. Not the looks of disdain, not the barely concealed discomfort, not even the latent hostility. In her 40-year military career, 20 as an elite sniper, she had faced worse. The Elite Marksman Club was a modern temple dedicated to privilege, located on an isolated estate. Its glass and steel structure housed the most sophisticated shooting range in the country. Members paid annual fees equivalent to a house and passed an approval committee that rarely admitted anyone not from the highest circles of society. General Roberts confirmed my attendance yesterday, Clarice insisted. You can check the system. Reluctantly, the receptionist consulted the computer. His discomfort turned to surprise. Looks like there's a reservation, he muttered, visibly annoyed. Lane 10. Please sign here. As Clarice signed, Alexander Morgana, billionaire in the tech sector and the club's majority shareholder, approached. He wore a custom tactical suit that probably cost more than a car. Is this some kind of joke, Derek? He asked the receptionist, not lowering his voice. Since when do we accept people like her? She's a guest of General Roberts, Derek replied. Roberts and his charity projects, Morgan scoffed. First, it was that program for troubled veterans, now this. He looked Clarice up and down. What do you do? Clean guns. I use them, Mr. Morgan, Clarice answered. Her response provoked laughter. Morgan grinned. Did you hear that? She uses them. Since Roberts insists on these social inclusions, let's make it interesting. He turned to Clarice. You know the Alexander Dumas challenge? She nodded. 10 perfect shots in a row at 500 meters, each forming a single hole on the target. No one has ever completed it. If you succeed, I'll pay your annual dues. If you fail, go back to cleaning toilets. The crowd laughed. You're betting a lot, Clarice said. Don't worry. There's no risk, Morgan said. Derek, provide her a gun. Something simple she can handle. As they made their way to the firing area, comments and snide remarks followed. In the main hall, elite shooters practiced at lavish stations. News of the bet spread, drawing attention. The chief instructor, Trevor Powell, looked skeptical. Mr. Morgan, are you serious? He asked. It's entertainment, Morgan replied. And a lesson. Powell handed Clarice a basic, outdated rifle. The rules are simple. 10 shots, same point, 500 meters. Questions? Clarice examined the weapon. May I make some adjustments? Sure, Powell scoffed. If you know how. Clarice's hands moved confidently, adjusting the rifle. A young shooter, Mai Tanaka, watched with interest. Why are they treating her like this? She asked another shooter. Because people like her don't belong here, he said. What no one knew was that Clarice had saved countless lives through skill honed in silence. Powell declared, You have 1 hour to prepare. Unless you want to forfeit. 20 minutes is enough, Clarice replied. Confident for someone who's probably never held a rifle of that caliber, Morgan sneered. I've seen a few, Clarice said. Nothing special. The crowd laughed louder. 20 minutes. Then, Powell confirmed. As she walked to prepare, Major Edwin Hayes followed her. Sorry about their behavior, he said. I've been an instructor here for 15 years. Clarice Langston, she replied. I've seen how you handle that rifle, Hayes continued. Military service? 23rd Battalion. Sniper. 20 years. 37 missions. Hayes looked impressed. The ghost of Kandahar? I thought that was a myth. Legends usually are, Clarice said. They have no idea who you are. Better that way. Hayes warned her the rifle was tampered with. Off-angle sights, a delayed trigger. Nothing I can't fix, she said. I can get you a better scope. No, I'll use what they gave me. Back in the hall, Morgan toasted champagne. I bet she can't hit the target, someone said. 200 says she cries after the third shot. May whispered to Hayes, this doesn't feel right. Patience, he replied. The hard way is often the only way some people learn. Time's up, Powell said. Clarice approached the 500-meter mark. I'm ready, she said. A hush fell. Powell activated the scoring system. Clarice focused. Her mind went back to deserts, jungles, decisions made in moonless nights. She took a breath. Fired. 10.0. Perfect center. Beginner's luck, someone muttered. Clarice fired again. 10.0. A third shot. 10.0. A fourth. A fifth. Each hit the same exact point, forming a single hole. Powell frowned. That's impossible. Morgan demanded the system be checked. No error, said the tech. Sensors are working fine. Shot 6, 10.0. Morgan's smile faded. Shot 7, 10.0. Shot 8, 10.0. Staff and shooters had stopped what they were doing. The general manager appeared. Am I seeing this correctly? 9, someone whispered as Clarice fired again. 10.0. For the final shot, Clarice turned and met Morgan's eyes. Calm, focused. She turned back, lifted the rifle, and fired. Shot 10, 10.0. The scoreboard flashed. Duma challenge completed. 100/100. For a few seconds, no one moved. Then Hayes started clapping. May joined. Soon the hall erupted in applause. Morgan approached. She cheated, he claimed. Powell interrupted. Sensors confirmed every shot. I want a drug test. An equipment check. This is a farce. She can't what? The general manager asked. Can't be better because she's black? A woman? 60? Colonel Clarice Langston didn't appear out of nowhere, Hayes announced. She served 40 years, 20 as a sniper in special ops. The ghost of Kandahar, someone whispered. Clarice finally lowered the rifle. I'm not a legend. Just someone who trained hard. 22 decorations, 17 records, Hayes added. And you had her cleaning toilets. The general manager stepped forward. Colonel Langston, it's an honor. We'd like to offer a lifetime membership. Clarice looked at Morgan. About our bet, she said. You owe me. Morgan nodded stiffly. Actually, Clarice continued, I'd like you to fund scholarships. For underprivileged youth. Starting with my granddaughter, Layla. No one saw it coming. Those 10 shots weren't just marksmanship. They were history. The video spread. Within days, the world watched what began as a humiliation turn into a movement. 6 months later, the club had changed. 50 scholarships. Layla had won her first regional title. The rifle Clarice used was displayed in the hall. A plaque read, True power speaks quietly. True excellence needs no approval. Morgan's company had been investigated. Discrimination uncovered. Clients pulled out. His appearances at the club became rare and silent. Colonel Langston never gloated. It was never about revenge, she told a reporter. It was about opening doors unfairly closed. Powell, once dismissive, now led veteran rehabilitation programs. May trained under Clarice. I used to believe greatness had a look, she said. Clarice taught me it has a heart. Even Morgan's son had changed. I thought talent came from wealth, he admitted. She proved otherwise. Clarice's lectures became popular. Quiet excellence is the best answer to prejudice, she told students. The best shots don't make noise. But they changed the world. Morgan? He lost more than a bet. He lost his illusion of superiority. One afternoon, he was seen watching a class Clarice taught. Not with anger, but with quiet realization. Excellence is the best reply to bias. Not loud, not vengeful, but undeniable. Just like 10 perfect shots.